Cool. All right. So this is what I've written, and this is for you guys to decide. So there's a couple things that I've been thinking of as today I did a little bit of work on how the flow is possible and what we can accomplish here. So instructions on recording, that was the one thing I had, the first thing I had on my list, which I believe that what we can do, and this is, we can, this is stuff for us to all decide on, is we can separate the introductions from the rest. So that way we don't have to all reintroduce ourselves, and people that want to get caught up can go view those later. Okay. And then we can separate that from the other ones. So we can have a separation. So we don't have to keep, we can be clear when you want to say something?
Yeah. Is there a spot where all these are going to be? Like, could we have a profile section where each person's recorded introduction is there, so that we can then go look and, like, I want to know more about Brittany or Bruce, and I can go click on their introduction?
Possibly. Right now we have it on a Google Doc as a separate video. So you could watch per episode. Lindsay, questions?
Is that something that we could do on New Portal potentially? Like just have a link to our profiles or something on there?
Yeah.
Or,
we don't have to do intros. We can do, we can add an intro. We don't have to do it on the call. We can research each other before the call, and then we don't have to even waste our time at all.
Absolutely. I just think it would be like really neat, especially when people are talking for like a period of time, that we could also be like looking at their, what their offerings are and things, just like have their profile pulled up while they're talking.
Okay.
Are.
Okay.
Until the technology does that for us, I think that would be a good solution.
Yay. That's a great idea. So New Portal, possible. I'm writing it down. That sounds really good. I'll write that down. So that's there. That sounds really good. And then when someone gets on the call, we all would research whoever's going to be on the call. They would have clear instructions, catch up on the other calls, and, maybe an outline, at least minimally. Okay. So that was that one. Do you guys want to do a 1-minute mindfulness before each call or during the, yeah? Okay. Then,
yes.
Yeah. Yay.
Okay. So let's do that then. And then I will get to the choices for intention of call. And of course, anyone can add to those. Okay. So,
Do we have a timer?
No. So Bruce, I'll just give you a really quick upload. We're going to do 1 minute of becoming mindful and getting to a place where, we might want to say something really bad, imagining ourselves there and questioning what we're saying as to, is it our truth? Is it something that's true? Is it relevant? And no, the other one. Do you guys remember? True, relevant. Oh, is it useful? Is it helpful to what we're doing here? Is it useful and relevant? And then when we do speak, we try to say as many few words to really get our intention across. All right. That was nice. I feel more centered myself. Okay. So I've come, I wrote down a few intentions that we can do, and let's decide as a group definitely what to take on first. I can screen share with you guys, and I can show you through the Google Docs that I've set up for you, and show you how it's organized, so we'll know how to use it and plug new people in, and we can have an online live training. That's option number 1. Option 2 is to talk about etiquette on or how we want to grow, because if we don't talk about it, we might just invite a bunch of people and things could get confusing. So we want to know how to grow, how to split, training process, groups, that kind of thing. I saw that. So that sounded like you want to hear that, Lindsay. Okay. We can always talk about just straight tasks. I would probably rather group first, but we could just talk about tasks if you guys want to be action oriented. And yeah, so is there anybody else that wants to put something into the airspace? Bruce.
I guess I'm new to the call. I'm just trying to find out what you're doing and your objectives, and if there's something I can be a helpful resource to, I'd be happy to do so, whatever you do. Yeah.
Great. Is there anyone else that wants to add anything? Lindsay?
Yes, I'm in agreement with the how to grow, how to split, and making sure that our energy is focused and doesn't get too dispersed too quickly. That's what happens with a lot of exciting movements is everybody's like, yes, let's share this with everybody. And it's like, yay. And then everybody starts doing it. And then like all of the resources get like super spread out and it kind of crumbles and doesn't work. So I'm really, really interested in like focusing and choosing different spaces that we share with the collective and certain aspects of the core work that we still kind of, it's not like we're hoarding it because it's all open resource eventually, but for the safety and just the nurturing of the movement, you know? So yes, that. And then in response to Bruce, you know, I would just kind of think or just, you know, hear what's happening. And then if something comes up that you feel is a offering that you could share, you know, please speak freely about that as well. And then as far as tasks go, I'm interested, as like the documents have shown up, to really create a list of properties, like document like the list of properties, their master plans of like their personal, as a community that's already existing, what their dreams are. Because it's not us that's like coming in and being like, hey, like, everybody do it this way, and then like, you know, not honoring all of the work that they've been cultivating forever, you know. So yeah, finding out what their master plan is, finding the land, or like what land is there, what the people who steward the land right now, what their master plan is, what kind of resources is on the land, existing structures, and then and how many people can it accommodate regeneratively. Like stuff like that. So property things would be one of my most important tasks, is that what I'd like.
Great. I want to give a chance to, I'm sorry, I didn't look at the screen. I didn't raise my hand. I want to give a chance to to Stephanie, if Stephanie, I can't see your hand, so I wanted to know if you wanted to say anything.
Hi. Yeah, I'm with Lindsay, which is listing the various different properties that we're interested in working with, deciding if we want to create teams, deciding what our resources are, why we want. What resources that we have to do it within a certain time frame, and what are the benefits and assets of these properties.
Great.
Yeah, that's just right off of the top of my head.
All right, Brittany, you're on mute, but.
So in kind of connecting with that, I would like to be able to, I don't know if there's a system already in place, but I've been wanting to create the funnel, the landing page for, and an application for like future properties just to keep it organized. And so then, yeah, those like applications could go to like Lindsay and Stephanie or whoever's like keeping track of that. And so that would be more like front end, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I'll show you guys now. I'm going to show you something if that's now. I'll show you the desktop. So do you see the desktop, everyone? You guys see the desktop? Did it work? Yep. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So this is the Google Drive that is, there's a link right now, and this is for Stephanie. You have everyone's email. I did email invite people. I also put a link on there. I don't know if you have the link, if you can drag it to your own drive, the folder. I think you can, and then you can just, the link should be good enough at this point. It would be best to invite people, so there's not a link out there, but we'll decide all that. Let's polish that after we look at what's in the bag. So, okay, so I got a couple things, and you asked, I don't have your name up here. What was the guy?
Bruce.
Bruce.
Yeah. Yes.
You asked, this is a co-creative document. So Bruce, we're doing basically, it's kind of like a crowdfunding, but it's resources. It's seeing who has available resources that wants to jump into this co-creative movement quest. And so along with this, there's some next steps, and you can read those there. And these get to get modified by us. So this is what I saw, and a lot of these things you guys mentioned, like land banks. Let's make sure that they're going in the right order, so that we have the necessary things done first, and that unless you just have nothing to pitch in, then you can work on those later things, of course, totally. In fact, we might just bust it all out at once. We might be powerful enough to just do that anyway, so I don't know how that'll look. Lindsay.
I would love to offer to provide an organizational structure for this document that would allow people to plug in information easier, that will keep it not confused, if that's okay. I won't delete anything, but I have a way that helps share information into documents that I'd like to share with that.
Secret way. Secret method. Okay.
Can I raise my hand a second?
Yes, Bruce.
Where's your mission statement? I don't see that. I mean, what is the mission of your group? Okay.
Got it. So this would be the very first introduction page. Okay, so here's the introductions from yesterday. Here's the calls. So this is the number one call we had on this date. And there's the link for it. Now, in the future, people are going to be seeing this call, and they're going to see that as number 2.
Is there going to be a description of what the call was? So we have like 100 calls.
That's a good point. We can make descriptions. Lindsay.
Yeah, I think that this is good functioning stuff. If you're inquiring Bruce about like our mission statement, you might show him the Green Earth Vision.
Cut out.
Oh, we lost the internet, I think.
Of this as well. Like once it starts getting bigger, I think we can probably adapt to a different form of information.
So right there, this is a co-creative document. So you'll see on the screen, what is our mission, vision, mission, and even name. We don't even have a name yet. So this is what we get to co-create here. So I put an example down there. So these are all questions. You know, what are we looking for? Who are we looking for? What's their vision? What's their offer? So go through these. When we acquire land, where do we post it? Other ways to effectively organize results, question mark. Who has access? Okay, can a company lose access? If so, how? And so I'm putting answers. You'll see a couple answers. Any misuse of funds? It's just a guess. So we're just putting answers of what we think, and then we'll decide, we'll refine it. So we can all add to it, you know, and maybe we could say, no, they can never lose access. They can do whatever they want. I don't know. I don't think that would be smart, but, so can anyone request funds? How would we be able to plan expenditures as a core team? So these are all questions that we want to answer, you know, together and really get a clear idea of what we're doing. And so once we get this, I think we should do a call like at least a few days out at this point. The next one. So this is a good intro. So I would, we don't have to go through all this right now. We're going to stay on task. So that's a good intro for that one. And then when you go back to the drive, so that's the resource quest. That's like the main document. The next steps you saw was there. I gave you a little bit of marketing stuff. You don't need to look at that right now. That's just for you. And then I have a community folder, and this is something I want to show you guys. So this is something that we can add to. This is a CSV file. We can add as a team. We can build it up. Now, I have an intro to this too, by the way. Let me look here. And you guys can follow along with your own stuff there. So I says read first. Okay, I guess we should do that. Read first. Instructions on how to use the community folder. Sharing of resources and help. You'll see a CSV file in the same folder. Please, that was that file. Add anyone who fits directly in with this cooperative movement. We can start our mailing list now so we can mark it as a tribe, as one, because we're going to be marketing as one. We don't want to do dispersed marketing. That would be very confusing. If you have your own CRM and you would like to keep it separate, by all means do it. But when we start marketing, make sure you are getting directly what's been refined and approved to shoot out. So we're basically creating this together. Bruce.
I'm going to make a success. I work with a group that has done a lot of highly sophisticated technical planning and project management. And the message that keeps coming down from everywhere is when you get a group that's beyond 12 people, it can get pretty unwieldy, even with the best of intentions. If you take your vision, what you're doing, and anchor it with a relatively smaller group, the chances of a success are greater. And I'm reciting Lockheed Skunk Works and a whole bunch of highly sophisticated, very advanced planning and technology developments. And that's been the general finding that they've all found is don't try to do 40, 50 people. the chances are the energy will get dispersed, and there's just too many voices to deal with. In the beginning, if you focus with a group, let's say at 12, chances are you can get that and get your land or your property. And then once you get what you're basically attempting to do really anchored in real time and really there, then you can make the decisions, and then maybe have one group off in agriculture, the other group off in buildings, or whatever you want to disperse it. But don't get too many people involved. It's too unwieldy. You can't focus.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. This is a little bit more future like kind of thing to build up a, but you're exactly. Did you have your hand raised, Lindsay?
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Bruce. That actually brought up a really powerful learning experience that I got to participate in Rotterdam with the Synergy Hub, and this fellow named Malik Jabber, and he created an organization called TL for Startups, and it's all about group dynamics, and it's really, really, really beautiful and based in deep listening. But he really thinks that teams, as far as like that, it's kind of a offshoot to the how to grow, how to split, which we can come back to. But he was talking about 6 being a really, really powerful number for a team to like get stuff done, like a task force, where like the 12 is really good for brainstorming, getting like holistic viewpoints, which is really awesome. I feel like, to go to what's relevant on the screen right now, the sharing of resources and organizing all of our contacts and things like that, to get them focused as well. We should have, instead of it just being like a random list, break it up into like people with land, people with, that have skills, venture capitalists, or sponsors or whatever, so it's not just like all over the place, and then we can focus. And if we could even like rate it like how much potential does this person have? Is it like a possibility, or does it have like that real potential that we can like activate in, and kind of like have like super epic multiple thumbs up, or something like that.
I have a few things to add. Definitely what Lindsay was saying, 5 to 7 is an ideal number for teams being successful. And after 12, it does fall apart. Additionally, everything Lindsay's saying sounds beautiful. I love it all. I want to comment on how the documents are being used. I would encourage probably a wiki for a lot of this, if you guys are going to be open, that'll allow for continuous organization and a lot of linking instead of a document going really big. Google Docs just start to collapse after a while when you get too big. Also, I would love when I get a chance to introduce to all of you. We have some stuff for actually crowdsourcing decision making with very large groups of people. But I really like what Lindsay again was saying about identifying the different groups and what they want. And we have to identify also there's another type of person who is going to want to be involved in communities, and they are essentially the followers. They're the people who aren't going to contribute much. Maybe the only thing they'll contribute is distraction. And instead of having them be a distraction, have them recognize that they want to be followers. And by being clear what these different groups or different properties have to offer, they can say, I want to be there when it's ready, but I'm not interested in participating. And that's a win-win, because that way you can have the people who are the doers focus on what they're doing, and people who don't really want to be decision makers, but they want to be a part of it there. So you can have a larger team without it being a large team.
So yes, I didn't think of that yet, because still thinking of like, who's the core team first? Then how do we split into groups, and how do we work? And then maybe after we blast these marketing out with all these companies and it gets all crazy, we have a filter for people that come back and they respond and they go, I want to be there, but later, or I want to hang in, And so we could filter. And then I want to answer Lindsay, yes to everything you said. This is somewhat set up like this. I'm not a master at this. That the CRM that we have on this thing, is meant to plug into New Portal. So it'll plug directly in, and the last one says source. So I put myself as a business coordinator. You could put how you plug in directly for now to this project. So you'll see that everything on here is labeled NPB, the new paradigm business. Okay, we can change any of this stuff. It's fine. NPB. So when we go search for, we'll be organized as who's on the core team. I even put a number 1 by my name here. So when you put your name, put a 1 to know you came in, and then who we invite on the second level can be 2, 3 if they keep inviting. So we know what rounds we're at. When we're all inviting, maybe we all decide to invite 1 person each. So we don't grow too quick. We can go, okay, we're ready for growth for our core team. Now let's invite, because now we're grouped up and we need some more people. Okay, so when you look into the instructions, you'll see some of this. You see up top the interest, the website, comments. You could put whatever you want there. You could use that as a categorization system if you want. So right now, source, the interest and the source are the 2 categorizing on this. And like I said, there's going to be lists that blow these out of the water. But if we're doing open source and we have teams and companies on board, we're going to be able to have a bigger list, and if they just want to shoot that to theirs, that's fine. Nobody's forced to do anything. This is just an option for people that don't have their stuff organized. And we can also keep track of each other on here really easily, and anyone we bring on, so we can understand where we're at with where exactly we're at. So if somebody has a better idea, I'm completely open to that.